Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the flying field. Today is the day that I am out here and it's frosty but thawing and we're going to try to fly the Helldiver today. Now, I have gone through the checks already. Nobody's here yet. The neighbors are warming up their diesel truck, but other than that, it's nice and quiet here on the home front. The airplane is doing well. I did some basic ground testing, just taxi testing. It's handling very well. Very slight pull to the left. Just taxiing on a 3-cell pack just for the weight, to simulate the weight while the main battery charges. So yeah, I know what to expect on the ground handling on takeoff. And I did a range check, and I made sure to do a fail-safe check yesterday evening. Made sure that my fail-safe was set and that it was working. Again, do that with your prop off in case it's not working right. Other than that, the model is set. The wheel or gear pants are holding on pretty well, even though it's a little bit wet. The airplane is just, ready to go, Now, I did do one error in my pre-flight checks last night, and I checked math. Okay, so the plans, it's weird. The plans call for 1 degree of incidence, positive degree of incidence on the main wing, which I have. Now that's relative to the datum line of the airplane. It looks like there is about 1 degree of down thrust on the plans, which I have built as well. Okay, so the problem is the tail. Okay, we've seen this happen before, right? Where I go and do a scratch build and the tail incidence is off a little bit, sometimes a lot of bit. It's way worse to have the main wing incidence off, but the tail incidence on the plans, what's weird is it says positive 0.5 degrees. For a warbird, I know better. Positive on the tail when you have positive main wing incidence. Don't know that I necessarily agree with that, especially when we're dealing with a flat plate elevator. It's not even airfoiled. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. So then moving on from there, what I actually measured on the H-stab is negative 2.5 degrees. So we're going to see what happens today. When you check the math, it's either, yeah, I built this right. Everything should go as planned, but you're on the ready. But now, like, I check the math and now it's like, okay, something catastrophic could really go wrong. I need to be ready for the airplane to take off sooner than it should. Meaning that the airplane's going to take off at a really low speed and I'm really going to need to be on the throttle, as well as keep the plane level, like pushing, not necessarily pulling on the stick to take off, okay? So these are the things you need to know, right? So hopefully we can trim some of this out. Don't know. I mean, I built the airplane as close to the plans as I possibly could. I mean, the fuselage, I used foam, right? Because the plywood that was supplied was just the wrong wood. So, that's on me. I get it. But we're going to see. And I'm going to take you guys along for the ride. I've got a couple of club members coming out here to meet me. So I should have a videographer for you guys. I apologize in advance for the peanut gallery. But that's part of having a club. They give you a hard time and you have fun together and you laugh at your mistakes. And so given the height of the corn still, I'm confident that everything will be fine. I've got flaps to land this sucker. It's small enough that I'm pretty sure it'll handle okay. The wind isn't supposed to be too bad. It's not supposed to pick up till later this afternoon anyway. So I'm going to finish getting ready and bring you guys back when I'm ready to take off. All right, so we're ready to go. We're plugged in, and I've got the peanut gallery here to heckle me on. Appreciate it, Ron. So we're going to see how this goes. good. All right, taking off.
Heads up.
Yep.
I think you might.
All right, so now I'm doing something
And
pretty
now for
stupid
something
here.
completely different.
Yeah, I decided after the crash over, that way to the left, I would just go ahead and after a careful inspection, I was like, everything's fine. I broke off one of the landing gear and I was like, you know what? Let's just give it a hand toss. I know it has plenty of power and see if I can just power through this. So basically what you're seeing over the next several minutes is me completely fighting the airplane between immediately using all of my down trim.
I think I've mostly
just
lost it on the camera.
could not get the airplane to fly level. Doing everything that I could to just try to get a feel for it. And I'm having to push, but you know, the Helldiver is an interesting platform where it has a really thick cord at the root, so it produces a lot of lift. And with this being a pound and a half basically under the recommended all-up weight for the model, it had so much lift. And so the combination of the lift and the tail incidence, the airplane just constantly wanted to balloon up. So yeah, that's essentially what you're seeing me trying to fight the whole time here. So making some nice passes, trying to get some good visuals and good understanding of how the airplane is performing. But overall, it's very stable, very stable. This is clearly not an issue of center of gravity. There's nothing necessarily wrong with how the airplane is flying. It's just the tail. The tail needs to be pushed and it flies great, just straight as an arrow. So for the next little bit, enjoy some of the flying shots. I really can't say much more other than this is just me fighting the airplane the whole time.
I would love to get out of 6x zoom, but it's not letting me. Just keep playing with it. I can cut the video. I mean, I'm keeping her in mostly stable, but I'm so zoomed in, you see all of the plane and nothing around it.
Oh no, that was my cousin. Oh, that was your cousin. That was my cousin. I'm the only one in the family who gets along with her. Oh. We've always been that way. We've always been very close, even though we're, thousands of miles apart. We've always been very close.
All right, Jose, I'm gonna try to land on the next pass. All right, yeah, you're at 420 since I've been recording. Yeah, I got my timer going on my radio. Thanks. Appreciate it.
At full scale's high.
All right, thank you, Ron.
Just for a little context, I'm lining up to land here. Now, because I'm fighting the elevator, this is going to be kind of porpoisey. So I'm trying, you have to kind of, coming from this direction, you have to kind of come in at an angle to avoid some trees. But I'm trying to slow the airplane down at the same time, and it just plops right down. All right, well, there you have it. It's been an eventful day, just like I predicted it might be. We have a successful flight, although problematic. Just some minor repairs to do on the bottom. I can pull the covering off and make those repairs for the landing gear, and it'll be fine. I am actually gonna chance it, and I'm recharging the battery and gonna try to hand toss again. I've adjusted my sum trim by quite a bit. So we'll see how that goes, and hopefully it'll go better, but I'm not gonna bother filming it, but I'll let you guys know. So other than how wonky it flies great. It tracks true. Just the elevator, clearly building something the way the plans are intended matters. Who would have thought? Anyway, thanks for coming on this journey with me. The Helldiver is absolutely my favorite all-time model. So this is a learning experience for me, and I'm glad that I'm making it on this airplane and not something bigger and more involved. So until next time, guys, continue working on your flying works of art.